Bye, where you been at? Hey, I don't know if nobody told you, but even if they didn't, I'm glad you woke up today. I'm glad. I'm glad that you woke up today. I'm glad that you woke up today. It's another chance. You feel me? Another chance, man. Another chance to get it right. And don't get it twisted. Getting it right only consists of you taking the time for self. That's all I'm talking about. It ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. Taking the time for self. Because how can you? What's up with it, Koi? Hold on, y'all. Let me turn off my notifications real quick because I don't want no phone calls, no nothing. Hold on, y'all. Let me turn off my notifications real quick because I don't want no phone calls, no nothing. All right. Based on how you loving yourself, it's how you teach everybody else what you gonna accept, and not necessarily how you gonna accept for them to love you, but type of people you gonna surround yourself with. If you over here ignoring yourself, what's up with it, Brody? If you over here ignoring yourself, guess what? You're gonna be surrounded by people that's constantly ignoring themselves. You know, we was always taught, salutes God, we was always taught that love is how you treat people, how you be there for people. But I want you to recognize the truest love. It's all about you. It's all about how you treat yourself. It's all about how you go through our life. You know what I'm saying? And how that's shown to everybody else. The love that we all talk about is expressed in its fullness. By the time you spend with yourself, how you love me? How you love me? When you don't even spend time with yourself. How? Slay? Why they doing that at? Don't get me wrong, I understand. You know, everybody want to be loved. But somewhere down the line, we forgot that, you know, love is expressed. And taking time to get to know yourself will allow for you to express you, right? So to love is to pay enough attention to yourself to where you're able to express who? Yourself. And the better you express yourself, there's gonna be less toxic relationships, less toxic exchanges. You know what I'm saying? To the point when people come around you, they gonna love the ambiance. You feel me? Or they gonna love to express themselves as well. And now you have a vibe of free expression. You know what I'm saying? That you share with somebody else. That you in turn say is, we in love. We in love. What's in? You in here. You is in here. So, taking that time to go within yourself will allow for you to be in love. Meaning doing things out of love, meaning expressing yourself in a way that lets it be known that you done spent time with yourself. You done spent enough time with yourself to show forth this love. You know, everybody want to talk about, I want to be in love, I want to be this, what's up with it, bless? But if you ain't spent that time with yourself, how could you ever be in love? How you doing, Noel? How could you ever be in love? Because again, when you break down in love, love is the expression of you. You being yourself in totality. But you can never, you know what I'm saying, be yourself in totality if you ain't spent enough time with yourself. So to truly be in love is to go within and learn to express yourself to the fullness, to the point you won't have this static within yourself to where it's like, man, I feel like something missing, or you negatively latching on to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You leeching, you smothering, because you think that's what love is. When love is you and the expression of you. The expression of you. Unconditionally. You feel me? Unconditionally. But if you can't express yourself unconditionally, guess what? You're going to find yourself in a state of lacking love. You're going to find yourself in the sense of being like, dang, I thought, me and that one person was in love, but at some point, you two became a distraction for each other. Hey, I speaks my truth. Maybe that ain't your truth. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you that. Maybe that ain't your truth. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna speak my truth. My truth is, but the people that I thought I was in love with and I wound up losing them folk, it was because at some point I lost sight of myself and I stopped expressing myself because I stopped spending time with myself. I concerned myself so much with everybody else to the point I lost sight of me. And the beautiful thing about this life, it's a labor of love. So, if somebody get in your way of you expressing yourself, or you going in depth with yourself to get in tune, guess what? They gonna be removed. They will be removed, Kurt. And my grandma used to say, you won't have no other guys before him, you know what I'm saying? But it's really the divine within you will move everything out of the way in order for you to see what makes you great. It would even attract some of everything into your life to be a catalyst for you to pay attention to what makes you great. Again, love is the expression of you. You being yourself unconditionally. Sometimes, you ever notice how sometimes people notice that you trying to hold back? Like you said, man, you know what? When I talk to such and such tomorrow, I ain't gonna talk crazy to them, you feel me? I'm gonna try to, keep it cordial. But somehow it still turned into some other shit. Somehow it still turned into a issue. And you like, darn, but what I didn't say such and such, or I didn't act like what's understood ain't gotta be said. Meaning, when you working on yourself, you can understand when somebody else working on themselves. And sometimes you're going to be working on yourself and it's going to feel like, dang, don't nobody give a darn that I'm working on myself. They still don't accept me. But you're going to start realizing the difference at that point between people that's working on themselves and people that ain't. That's what you're going to start to see at that point. Because people that's working on themselves can see another person that's working on themselves and they can meet in that middle. You feel me? But those that ain't working on themselves, it's going to be kind of hard for them to appreciate that. It's going to be a certain level of uncomfortability they're going to be dealing with. Just by way of being around somebody who is working on themselves and expressing themselves from a pure standpoint. Yeah, sometimes it make people uncomfortable. You be wondering like, dang, why such and such walk out my life? Why did I lose this person? It's because your truth was too much for some people. Your truth was too hard to handle for some people. The fact that you was working on yourself made other people uncomfortable. But you don't gotta feel bad for the fact that you was loving yourself enough to do the work. To do the work. Because as long as you're doing the work, you'll be able to differentiate. Yes, it's going to hurt when you lose certain people, but you will be able to overcome it because you'll have a different level of understanding of what's going on. What's up, Juice? You're going to have a different level of understanding of what's going on to the point you'll be like, you know what, that don't even hurt as bad. Because you know that person running from themselves. What's up with the Harris family? You know that the reason why that person wasn't able to accept you because they haven't learned to accept themselves first. You feel me? Hey, it's a beautiful thing when you recognize that. Because at that point, you can release yourself from an attachment that wasn't positive or no longer is positive in your life. You feel me? Get to the point that you let go of the things that are no longer in your favor. How you doing, Lena? You know, today we talking about what's love. And this is part 2 of the soul completion because it's like so often we are attaching ourselves to people under the understanding it's because we love them. You feel me? All the while not understanding what love truly is, Angel. Not understanding that love is the free expression of yourself, Lena. And if you're not in a situation where you feel like it's okay for Zay to be the embodiment of love, you feel me? You are in the wrong place. What's up with it? Appreciate that love. And it's going to get to a point that guess what? That person will be removed from your life. And it wasn't because you ain't care about that person. But you didn't realize that love was the free expression of you. And whenever you in a place or a circumstance that doesn't allow for you to freely express yourself, life will move you around. No different than when you in school, you know, and I appreciate you tapping the screen with me, appreciate that love. This the thing though, Lena. I'm gonna try to say it a little differently. Love is the free expression of you. You can care about somebody else, but love is expressed through you being yourself. And when two people come together being they self intentionally, and sometimes unintentionally, you know, but it's not gonna be able to continue to keep on refreshing itself until you get to a point that you're conscious of what you're doing. You feel me? When you're conscious of the fact that you're freely able to express yourself around people, you begin to express more and more about yourself. You feel me? And then in turn, it makes the other person feel comfortable enough to what? Freely express more and more about themselves. And then you feel like you know this person because what? Y'all shared so much about yourself to the point that's the only way you can say you really care about them. Because you know about them. But love is you expressing who you are. You see what I'm saying? And once you get to that point that you're expressing who you are in totality, I mean, yeah, you're right. Everybody love different, meaning everybody on a different level of expressing who they are. But when you're not expressing who you are, it creates a static within you. It creates a chaos level within yourself that allows for you to come off toxic to other people because you're toxic to yourself. And so the expression of yourself will have that same light or that same energy signature. You know, so as much as we want to blame that other person, a lot of times, I'll be honest, you know, it got to a point that in certain relationships, I stopped expressing myself and it made that other person uncomfortable. I stopped expressing myself in the way that I expressed myself when they first came along. And it made that other person feel like they ain't know me no more. You feel me? You darn right, I still will. See, I ain't one of them folks that's so caught up in one extreme, you feel me? I recognize that the creative force, you know what I'm saying? It builds and it destroys. Some things have to be torn down and in order for it to be better. Appreciate that follow, my G. Let's go together as we grow together. You know, if y'all could, if you would, let's tap that screen like we trying to knock on wood. Again, this conversation is not for me to be understood solely by myself. This is for us to further understand ourselves. You know, if you ever want to know if somebody care about you, recognize whether or not, what's up with it, Nick? Recognize whether or not they pointing you to things that are becoming of you, or they pointing you to things that's gonna make you look at them like, oh, look at how great they are. You see what I'm saying? If they telling you stuff that's gonna better you, that's love. You feel me? If they telling you things that's gonna free you. See, like, I want you to know people are the catalyst for you to express yourself. Some people are, you feel me? But when you get to that point, you generating that energy on your own shelf. You feel me? When you get in that thing and you let me cook. You feel me? You spinning that thing around like that. I mean, you ciphering. You creating your own cycle of love to the point that anybody that come in your environment, they can appreciate it because of the work that you put in, because of the love that you showed yourself. You feel me? When we was babes, right? When we was young and impressionable, the understanding that we had of love was based on what? Attention. Wherever you put your focus, therefore you are. Wherever you put your focus, there you will be also. You see what I'm saying? So do not for a second get so caught up in thinking it's all about that other person. Because that's why these people are being removed from your life. That's why just when you thought it was safe, because a lot of us, we wait. You know, we always got our guard up. You know what I'm saying? We trying to protect ourselves from everybody. We don't want to show who we truly are because we scared they not going to accept us. What's up with it, Panda? But how many times you done told yourself, man, look, I'm going to try not to talk crazy to such and such, or you trying to withhold. And then they still got mad. They still got upset. And you like, dang, but I ain't even saying, man, people can tell when you holding, you know what I'm saying, when you holding back. Even if it's subconsciously, they feel a different level of uncomfortableness. You feel me? They feel the byproduct of you holding back, which make them in turn eventually feel like, man, why am I giving all of me? So eventually they begin to hold back as well. What's up with it, Zay? They begin to hold back as well. Appreciate that love, my G. Again, it's love not because Zay is sending it to me. It's love because Zay is finding a way to freely express himself. See what I'm saying? Give people back their power, man. People will tell you all day, oh, man, I love you. But never give you back your power. Never tell you things that's going to be becoming of you. They only tell you things that make them look better in your view. So when you think about that, hey, I know. It's hard sometimes to weigh out where it's safe at. But guess what? I see you. It's safe. It's safe to come outside. What's up with it, Charlotte? Yeah, I remember that video I had where I said, man, you coming outside today? And I know you think, because you put on your clothes and you walk outside, appreciate you tapping that screen, you outside. That's what you think. But I'm talking about when you come outside and freely express you, because we missing you. We are missing out on beautiful people because they don't feel like they worthy enough of love. And they waiting on somebody else to love them. Appreciate that love. Let's say, Kaylin, yeah, appreciate you expressing the love that is you. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't take that from you. Through me sitting over here expressing myself, you know, that vibration meets you halfway, Noodles. It meets you halfway. And then at that point, we can be in love. You feel me? But you first got to tap in. You first got to tap in order for that to happen. Or for you to be able to sustain it. Appreciate that love. In order for you to sustain it. You know, one of my grandmama's favorite scriptures was, how you say you love me, who you haven't seen, yet can't stand your brother, because I know we can't use certain words on here. Can't stand your brother who you have seen. And in this sense, you the brother. You the brother. You know how they be like the one that sticks closer than a brother, meaning it's so close to you. The being that you are is so close to you, but it's not the fullest expression of you. You ain't spending enough time with you to know. You too busy looking at everybody else that you think you love. When truth be told, love is the fullest expression of you. And you can't fully express you unless you spend time with yourself, love. Unless you recognize this love. But here it is, the people that come in our life as catalysts, meaning people that pour that out of us, yeah, we can appreciate them. We should appreciate them. Even if they only in our lives for a season. They some of the greatest teachers that we ever seen up until then. Why? Because they was able to bring something out of us that we wasn't readily available to pull out of ourselves on our own. So when you start gauging your level of relationships, put a 1 in the chat if you felt like all your past relationships was a failure because you're no longer with these people. Again, I say put a 1 in the chat if you feel like your relationship was a failure based on the fact that you're no longer with these people, or put a 2 in the chat if you recognize that, you know what, everything has its season and it came in my life for a reason. But as long as I learn from it, as long as I got something from it, then it served its purpose. It served its purpose. And you can't sit here and talk about don't nobody love you. This is another thing. You can't sit over here and talk about nobody love you and you ain't even being you. You ain't even taking enough time to be yourself at this point. To sit over here and say, man, they didn't accept me. How, Sway? And when you are, what's up with it, Mona? When you are expressing yourself, guess what? Tick. You know what it look like when somebody else expressing themselves or when they not. Not to mention you will have the patience or the understanding to allow for them to get to that point of expressing themselves. You will be able to be patient with them because you're doing work on yourself and you don't expect them to do the work for you. A lot of times we break up with people because we expecting them to do the work for us. Like, dang, I don't feel like I used to feel. Take that time to revive the feeling then. And stop putting that on somebody else. You lost sight of yourself when you say that. When you say that, you saying, what people used to say, I don't even feel like myself no more. And what people turn around and tell you after you've been thinking that, they be like, I don't even know who this person is. I don't know who you are anymore. Because when you came in, you had a flame, but now it ain't the same. Because you lost sight. That's why a lot of people be wanting to be single, because when they single, they understand that. But the moment they get somebody else, it's like a distraction. They forget. But I'm telling you what happened. You lost sight of the fact that you are love. What's up, Ash? You lost fight. I said you lost fight. But yeah, you lost the will to fight for self. You lost the will to fight for self. Each day we gotta fight with the future self, the one that would cause us to sabotage and say, I'm not worthy. The looping of thoughts that keep reminding us of times that we felt like we wasn't worthy. So therefore we didn't show forth who we are in each moment to the best of our understanding. You feel me? To the best of our understanding. And even then, you recognize that what you understand today about yourself will be enhanced tomorrow if you do the work. So even then, you can't even get caught up in what you think you know about yourself now. To the point you so hard on yourself. I don't like that about myself. I don't like this about myself. Well, guess what? That'll change too. But it won't change unless you allow yourself to be that change that you need instead of putting it off on everybody else. Everybody else. It's everybody else's job but yours, huh? It's everybody else's job but yours to love you. That's what we've been saying in so many words. We've been putting it off on everybody else but you. How you ever gonna get a higher vibe if you always thinking low?
how you ever gonna get to the point if you looking for a scapegoat? You looking for somebody to blame for what you ain't doing for yourself. You looking for somebody to blame for the time that you not spending with yourself. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. You not loving on yourself, but you want everybody else to. That's like, and we be honest, them the same people we be calling users. So it seems like the way that we love in the world today, we all out here using and abusing. I heard Bob Marley say, man, look, everybody gonna hurt you. Everybody gonna hurt you, but who are you and who are you willing to be hurt by? You'll be more willing to be hurt by, the fact that, this person working on themselves, just like you working on yourself. So you could be understanding when they make a mistake, because you know it's a mistake. But if you're not working on yourself, you don't know what it looked like to see somebody else working on themselves. And again, love is you freely expressing yourself as well as doing the work, meaning the outward expression, the inward expression. It's love for you to take the time to do the work. It's love for you to say, today, Milf, I'm going to take time for me. Even if that means I just lay around today and just think about the goodness of me. And then think about the things that I feel like no longer serve me and work on that. And we say we want to be in love, but guess what? That same work I'm talking about, it happens inward. And the person that is love is within. So in order to be in love, you're going to have to tap in and stop putting that off on everybody else. The last person you was with that hurt you, no. You hurt you. You hurt you. I can't tell you how many times people done tried to hurt my feelings, but I was so in tune with myself that somebody else had to come back and tell me, such and such said this, and this. And even then I was like, okay, that's fine. Because I'm at a certain place of peace within myself. That's why some people enjoy being single so much. Because when they single, they can easily see that. They can easily keep their peace. But it's the same kind of peace and, treating yourself well that you should be doing even when you so-called in a relationship with somebody. So now y'all can meet in the middle. Now y'all can meet in the middle and be, in love, meaning doing the work from within on who is truly love, the expression of yourself, the fullest expression of you up until now. What you understand is love. That's a sacrifice, You don't have no relationship when you ain't willing to give no sacrifice. You don't got no relationship. And again, you got to deal with your inner child to do this shadow work, right? You got to deal with your inner child to do this shadow work, right? I'm going to say that again. You got to deal with your inner child to do this shadow work, right? And as a child, you understood love by attention. So with it, Devin, you understood love by attention. So if you ain't giving yourself no attention, what the hell? Ain't that what that man said? What the hell? Who you think you fooling? And you wonder why people keep coming in, going out. All the while, all these people keep coming in your life just to point you to you. You keep on talking about them. Even when you talk about why this person did this to you or, what hurt you about what happened in the last relationship, it's still telling you something about what's important to you. But guess what? You can't control what nobody else do. But you can. You can be brave enough to control how you see you, and in turn allow for others to see you, because now you are expressing yourself. But if you ain't expressing yourself, you can't get mad at nobody for not wanting to be with you. You don't even want to be with you. You ain't even giving yourself enough time to even express it when you get around people, because you don't know who you are. But you paying so much attention to everybody else that you know who they are or what you think they are. But guess what? You only with yourself 24/7. You only with yourself 24/7, but you sit there and block yourself out. So what is you blocking out about this other person that you think you know? You missing the point on them too. So stop with the blame. Ain't nobody to blame, bro. Like I said, you got to do that inner work. Thank you, love. You got to work on your inner child. Appreciate you, Shamar, coming in. You got to work on your inner child so you stop. For one, inflicting pain on yourself, and then in turn inflicting pain on anybody else who come in your life that you want to blame for why you ain't took the time for you. But you gotta stop being so busy that you ain't got time for yourself. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't got time for yourself, you busy being distracted. You ain't talking about nothing. That's all that is. You just busy being distracted. My T said something today about, I'm gonna paraphrase, it's like, we all gonna get there in our own ways. But some of us gonna struggle to get there rather than just allow for ourselves to arrive. You feel me? Some of us gonna struggle. I mean, we are gonna pass away or transcend to the next life, but some of us gonna be shaking on the way out. But we don't wanna release the ghost. Because we ain't released the ghost this whole lifetime. Based on how you carry yourself right now, that's what's gonna be your existence. As it is your existence right now. What make you think you're gonna change it because you didn't change it here? If you resorted to nothing but low vibration and never found the balance, you never found the balance, guess what? You ain't gonna never have no balance in the end. You gonna find yourself part of that chaos spirit. Don't get me wrong. The energy of creation, again, it builds, it can be destructive in order to rebuild. But there's levels to this. Like, my grandma used to always say, you going in, coming out, or you already in the storm. And I tell you this, the energy that operates, these birds just flying so close. The energy that operates this existence, you know what I'm saying? It sets the trend. Some people are affected by the trend, and some people are one with the energy that created it. At some point, you gotta stop just being affected by the trend. At some point, you gotta stop just riding the trend, meaning you see the trend already taking place, and then let me ride on it, you feel me? At some point, you gotta create the waves. And a lot of times when you create the waves, you ain't there to see the outcome. You ain't there. Some of us don't want to do the work because we too busy trying to look at the end. We trying to figure out how the end gonna be before we decide if we gonna do what we supposed to do. Appreciate you tapping the screen. If you would, let's tap that screen, share the live, drop a comment. This is how we participate. You feel me? This is another opportunity for you to express for you to express yourself. Pay attention to the things that people ask of you. Is it becoming of you? This is a conversation about you participating within yourself to express the greatness that is you. You feel me? This is another opportunity for you to take back your energy. And it costs you nothing. But it could cost you everything if you don't learn to, let me put my energy towards things that align with where I'm at now or where I'm seeking to be or what I know is right. You feel me? It is what it is. You know, we get these opportunities on a daily basis. But through these type of conversations, we begin to see the opportunities more and more and more, and we can see them for what they are to the point we can't ignore it no more. Stop ignoring yourself. The thing about us, we think we are so disconnected from each other. We think we so separate to the point when I ask you to do something, you think it's me asking you. No, it's you. You allow for you to be in certain situations, certain circumstances, to grow. You ask for this lifetime for you to be able to fulfill your purpose. So when you find yourself in certain circumstances, take a deep breath and remind yourself, I asked for this. So you don't opt out of it. So you don't just give up on yourself and only realize you're going to have to come right back around and do it again. So you might well get it right now, my friend. You might as well. Otherwise, what's the point of you complaining? What's the point of you complaining? Because I'm telling you right now, it's misplaced. You blaming people for things they had no control over. You got to forgive them. They don't even know what they doing. And for most of all, forgive yourself. But it starts with you. If you can't forgive yourself, guess what? You're going to be an unforgiving person, and you're going to bring down anybody and everybody that comes near you. All the while blaming them for them allowing you to tear them down. The sacrifice they made, or the sacrifice you made them out to be. We are sacrificing each other on some false pretenses of what we think love is. We still acting like a little kid thinking love is attention. Okay, if it is, then when you gonna give yourself some attention? When you gonna give yourself some attention, inner child? When you gonna take the time to realize why you don't like why certain things happen in your relationship? Why you don't like certain things about certain people? All the while you over here disconnected. Do you realize this reflection that you get from people is you? Whether that's your old self, that's who you are now, or who you gonna eventually be if you keep on judging folk like that, instead of understanding how they got like that. And then in turn being able to appreciate them. I'm not gonna front with you. I used to tell myself I love people even more when I wind up realizing they struggle, meaning it make me feel comfortable enough to express myself. I'm gonna break it down that way. They made me feel comfortable enough to express myself because I realized through them sharing with me they struggle, whether I was able to see it, them able to voice it, and then realize they still going on. I'm like, woo, I love that. I'm inspired. You gotta love that. Man, I think about, running back. What's up with that virtual T? What's up, Monica? Thinking about running back into my bro. You feel me? My bro Lakeem, I'm like, for one, I was like, man, I'm so glad bro's still alive, but to see the growth. See, sometimes we be so much in our own motion, we can't even see our growth. It's to the point now, he little big bro now. You feel me? I'm talking to him about things that I'm going through. When at first, I was telling bro, like, look, man, if ever you feel the need to talk about something, and it blessed my spirit to know that he remembered that. Oh my G right there, you know what I'm saying? But I did that because I don't see no disconnect. You feel me? I don't see no disconnection between me and that man. Never knew. Later on in my time of need, that would be reciprocated to me. Never knew. After running back into somebody I viewed as my brother, I didn't see no separation from him. I would lose my baby brother. See, that's the beauty of life, though. That's the beauty of life, when you can be so in tune with yourself that you can be selfless. That's the balance. I ain't say be so in tune with yourself you full of yourself. And when you can be so in tune with yourself that you can be selfless, I will that one day you guys arrive to the point, if you haven't already in your life, that you can cry tears of joy. because of the things that you put forth that's coming back to you. Karma don't always gotta be bad. But if you putting out negative stuff and you don't understand nothing about yourself, Marilyn, guess what? It's gonna always feel like that. It's gonna feel like every time that cycle come back around, it's some nonsense, but you can reframe that. And you can refrain from complaining. When you ain't got nothing nice to say, hush. And even in your head, because I know right now it's a lot of things being said in each one of our heads. You feel me? That we got to get a little control over. Recognize that, man, if you let that thing marinate for 90 seconds, I always say over 60 seconds, it begins to harden into your reality. Appreciate that love. Don't get it twisted. There's a such thing as intrusive thoughts. Meaning your previous program coming back to haunt you. But you can reprogram yourself. Like I said, man, take advantage, like Beautiful tapping the screen, and all the brothers and sisters y'all see coming in showing love, Marilyn coming in showing love, because when you recognize the energy, the vibration of love, because you don't have time to recognize the energy, the vibration of love that is you, you feel compelled to reflect or to be a mirror to that greatness that you get, that you understand because you doing it yourself. Appreciate that love as I seek to be a blessing to you as well by expressing myself freely. Since we talking about what love really is, and it's the expression of you. The fullest expression of you. To be in love is to tap in with you and to be such in a flow with the understanding of you up until now that it just, you know what I'm saying, it just come out of you. And it make other people feel comfortable enough to be in love with themselves. Tap into themselves to know what is of them and what isn't. Because we were born into this world dealing with the program that come with it, meaning how things was before you got here. And in turn, we start living that and thinking that's all life is. Put it to you like that, beautiful. You know, the reason why we know that, because at some point, that was us too. But if at some point we begin to set that example, guess what? They would learn to fly too. You feel me? But first, we gotta run in front of them. We gotta run the race. We gotta be the example. And recognize there ain't no disconnection. We think we so disconnected from each other. We the same. We the same. What's up, Crash Out? Appreciate you coming through. That's my G. You know what I mean? Love yourself. And to love yourself is to freely express yourself no matter what nobody else talking about. And when you see somebody else showing love, meaning pointing people to things that's gonna build them up, not shit, hey, I'm gonna say this in front of y'all so I can build myself up off of y'all. Nah. I'm working on me in real time, so now you feel comfortable enough to do the same work. But these are the conclusions that I'm drawing from doing the work in myself. I couldn't blame nobody else for how my relationships went. Because truth be told, the relationship is with me, and they are just an expression of me. They're merely a catalyst that led to me being able to pay attention to myself, to check my own temperature. That's why I got to the point I started telling people, honey, I love you as myself, Marie. Because I realized that's the only way I can love you is if I be myself. But if I ain't being myself, I can't say I love you. I can't. So, something to think about today. Are you loving you? Are you being yourself? Are you being the fullest expression of yourself that you understand today, Shamika? Or are you just being what the program told you to be? Are you loving the way the program told you to love? Well, I'm gonna give them everything I got, and hopefully one day they give me everything they got. No. It ain't about none of that outside stuff. You feel me? These physical or tangible things. Thank you. It's about all this right in here. And if you truly want to be in love, hey, give yourself some attention. You feel me? Put that in you. And then when you do that, you're going to express that out. But if you ain't doing that work within, it's over with, G. It's over with. You can call it quits on that. And in turn, you're going to find yourself, you ever done said crazy stuff about yourself, but it hurt more when the people that you cared about turned around and said the same thing, or a total stranger came by and said the same thing. So stop thinking lower yourself. Give yourself some attention on a different level if that's how you been up until now. Write you a poem. Or even just, remember we used to have to do write-offs? Write 1,000 times, I love you, self. Change that conversation that you have with yourself. So then, you know what? Instead of it being intrusive thoughts, it's the thoughts that I implanted in my own self. So when things get rough, I can rebuild myself. When things is being torn down in me that need to be rebuilt, I can do the repairs. Most of all, I can appreciate when things is being taken away from me. That ain't me anyway. We be thinking our bad attitudes is us. We be thinking our bad attitudes is us. We be thinking our 1221. We be thinking our guarded nature is us. When truth be told, it ain't. Nah, that's what you allow for yourself to be hardened into. You feel me? Because you didn't do the work when something came along to get your attention to what you need to work on. Why does that hurt you so bad that they don't care? Because you don't care about you. And now it's being materialized in the form of a person. And it don't feel good. But be glad that that person, guess what, was used as a tool for you to be reminded of what you ain't doing for you. That's why a lot of people love being single, because when they single, they have no choice but to do that. They have no choice but to care for themselves. And somehow when they get in a relationship, they forget. Or, like you said, self, you left so much room for other people that you stopped doing for you. You put that off on somebody else. And then you mad at them for not doing what you was supposed to do for you. It ain't their job. They gotta work on self. Meaning they gotta love self. And if both of y'all sitting over there loving y'all, y'all are able to share that space with each other. But if neither one of y'all sitting there loving on each other, loving on yourself, guess what? It's always gonna come off like it's your fault. It's your fault. Cause both of y'all ain't paying attention to yourself. So yeah, you right. You right. And that's why y'all broke up. Let's remove that. So you can focus on yourself. Why you mad, folks? Tell me why you mad. Because you ain't mature enough to accept the facts. Everything happened for a season and a reason. But just like when somebody passed away and you ain't spend that time with them, you didn't do what was put on your heart to do with them, at first it felt like anxiety while they here. But when they gone, it's regret. And you gotta live with that shit. Yeah, I do the same thing. But we gotta stop. We gotta stop neglecting ourselves. Always pushing our needs and wants to the side. That's why other people do the same thing to us. You teach people how to treat you, how you treat yourself. You know what I'm saying? And even if they still try it, it's gonna be understood when you move around. Like, such and such don't play that. And you're gonna be more likely to move around. when people mistreat you because you already don't got that, you know what I'm saying, that symbiotic relationship within yourself. You don't do that to yourself, so you're not going to dare allow nobody else to do that. So realize people only doing you like that because that's how you do yourself. Can't be mad at nobody. And furthermore, being mad at people, you got to ask yourself, where is that serving? Where is that getting you? Or is that keep on putting you in that same energy cycle of what you say you didn't want? I'm gonna give a real-time example. Another one anyway. And another one. I had a conversation the other day with my daughter. Before I talked to her, I realized I've been downplaying myself. So when she caught herself trying to downplay me, I was like, buck stop here. The buck stop here. So in real time, I had to express myself, something that I don't normally do with my children, not on the level that I did. Meaning, command a certain level of respect because of the way that I'm finna move. I'm gonna be undeniable on my respect. You feel me? But had I not been doing that work within, I would have sat back and just been passive aggressive like normal. I would have sat back and been quiet and not told my child something that was becoming of her. Because I've been sitting back being quiet and not having a conversation with myself. That's how that would have worked. Yeah, I seen where I can improve on certain approaches that I had. But I started the work though. And I started it within myself first. To the point when the opportunity came with my child or whoever it would have been, but it was my child at the time, I didn't shy away, Coco. I ain't shy away, higher vibes. Beautiful disaster, don't shy away from this opportunity that you got because of what you're going through. Look at it as an opportunity. But when you look at it like something that causing you dismay, it's no wonder we respond the way that we do, with avoidance, because we've been avoiding ourselves this whole time. And looking at everything outside of us like it's so much better than us. It's so much more important than us taking the time to better ourselves. And it's not. Be grateful things have been removed from you that no longer serve you. Give thanks. I know it's going to be hard at first, but let's program. If you realize how you got programmed, then you realize how you can program yourself. Because your true essence already know this. But this vessel just keep reminding you of the things that you believe to be true instead of what you know to be true because you took the time for you. Or you took the time to get to know what is you for real. We don't know. Matter of fact, you don't even know how this vessel work for real. Otherwise, you would reverse engineer this mud. Every chance you get, every time something ain't no longer serving your purpose, you would reprogram this mud instead of being down on yourself. Or, better yet, let me tell you, this is what you doing. When you getting down on yourself, or when you putting that focus in to pay attention, you are taking the opportunity to reverse engineer it. But sometimes, when you trying to reverse engineer or fix something, sometimes you might be missing a step. Sometimes you might try to skip a step and then have to come back to it. Meaning, you get another person that treats you that same way. You feel me? Uh-oh, Miss Strong done popped up. Hold on, I'm finna have to restart and get with her, though. But I was just about to conclude anyway. Higher vibes, if you could, let Miss Strong know I'm finna pull up on her, but I'm about to restart. Because I'm definitely at my hour mark. That being said, Finley, this discussion was about you loving yourself more. This discussion was about pointing you to you. So with a JB, because you are love. Forget you're worthy to be loved. Yeah, you are worthy to be loved. But that's because that request was coming in. I said, go tell Miss Strong I'm gonna come over there in just a second. I'm finna restart. I'm wrapping up. All right, what's up with it, Beezy? You are love. And you are worthy of being expressed. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, do your best to learn of yourself daily. Don't worry if y'all didn't catch this mud at the beginning. For those who might be coming at the end, we're gonna repost this thing on YouTube. Just give me a little minute for TikTok to let me download it, and I got you. What's up with it, Amina? Man, I love you as myself, man. Meaning I love you from the truest essence of who I know myself to be. I love you with the patience and compassion that I have for myself. You feel me? You got that freely from me. You got that. I love you as myself, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. As we are one. And I'm so glad we in connection. Kinfo, let me see what they talking about. Let me see what it's talking about. Pull up a chair. Come over here to the round table where we break it all down. Say, why? We just broke bread right now. All right, so I'm thinking, should I just send her, I'm going to ask y'all, should I just send her the invite and then I edit this more later on? Or should I just restart? Because sometimes the videos get to be too long and it'd be super hard to even download. Appreciate you coming through, Amina. That was a question. I'm waiting. Talking to my other versions of myself. Somebody hear me. Somebody hear me. I'm gonna keep looking. I guess everybody's hands tied up right now. Restart. That's what I'm talking about. All right. See y'all in just a second then.